Shelter us with love so sweetly. Tonight, please fight the dangers from our eyes. Please, God, protect me from sorrow. Ufros aleinu, sukat shlomecha. Ushmor Seitenu Uvoenu Lechaim Ulshalom. Tonight with prayers unspoken, no harm for those under the sun. Please keep me safe when I'm woken, when the night meets the morning sun. I'd like to know that your love is love protecting from above. So show me now, and I won't ask again. Please, God, protect me till tomorrow. Please, God, protect me till tomorrow. Ufros aleinu shlomecha. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nikabela, la 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 la. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nikabela. Shomor v'zachor b'dibur echad, hishmianu el hameyuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad, l'shem u'tiferet v'litila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nikabela, la 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 la. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nikabela. Hitoreri, ki ba'orech kumi ori, uri shir daberi, kevod Adonai alayich nigla.
את בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני העם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה
Be the light inside the darkness, be the hope, burning bright into the night, be the voice, for those who cannot raise it, be the one who leads the way through the world's darkest days, be the light. Be the light, be the light. When days feel long and all that's left inside you our darkest days, reach for the light to guide you. The miracle of change begins with sparks of light we find within that shine. If we come close together, we will see a people strong, a shared humanity. To transform darkness into light, to lead with love instead of fight, we shine. We shine. Be the light. Be the light inside the darkness. Be the hope, burning bright into the night. Be the voice, for those who cannot raise it. Be the one who leads the way through the world's darkest day. Be the light. Be the light. Be the light. Be the light. Be the light.
Shabbat Shalom. Well, we're going to start with Ma'afe Hayom on page 10 or on the screen. Ma'afe Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma'afe Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Try with me. Ma'afe Hayom. Ma'afe Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma'afe Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's lovely to be here.
It's lovely to have you here.
You know that Rabbi Aaron is on vacation, and I was delighted to accept his generous invitation to celebrate with you Shabbat tonight and tomorrow morning at Shabbat
morning
at
at
Emanuel. In my day, it was called the New Emanuel Minyan, but that was a long time ago. So I want to start by reminding you where we are in the Jewish year. It's an important moment because today was Rosh Chodesh Av, the darkest month of the Jewish year. In 9 days, we will acknowledge Tisha B'Av, the 9th day of Av, the day we remember and mourn the destruction of the temple. The Talmud says, when the month of Av enters, one should decrease in joy. We have the month of Purim, when we increase joy, and then this month, when we decrease joy. It's a really remarkable calendar we have that acknowledges all the different experiences that we have in our life. Sometimes joyful, sometimes sad, sometimes grief. There was a Hasidic rabbi who said that though the Talmud says on Av you are supposed to decrease joy, he reads it as decrease in joy. In other words, yes, you can mourn, but acknowledge that even in that mourning, there can be joy. Somehow we know that better times are ahead. After Tisha B'Av, not many days after Tisha B'Av, Tisha B'Av, yes, is Tu B'Av, the 15th day of the month of Av, which is a kind of Valentine's Day, a day when women and men would meet each other and you would find your beshert. So why is it that in this month of mourning, there's also the possibility of joy? So I want us to think about that, to acknowledge the places that some of us feel that are filled with grief, that are filled with pain, but also acknowledge the hopefulness of our tradition. The rabbis called this month Menachem Av, comfort in the month of Av. So there is comfort here. We find comfort through community. So settle into Shabbat as we settle into Av. And we continue with candle lighting.
I'd like to invite up Shelley and Michael and Brandon to come light the candles, or come on, or whoever would like to. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We'll see in a little while that one of the two Torah portions for this week is a Torah portion about the journeys of our life. This is a moment in our service when we think about the journey of this past week. So I invite you to settle in, come to a comfortable position, take a deep breath. A meditation teacher once told me that we think we breathe, but in fact we are breathed. So imagine that you are being breathed. You take it in, you hold it for a moment, and you give it back. A deep breath. As you review your week, remember what you were doing, something of last Sunday, and then let it go. Something from Monday. Tuesday. Wednesday. Thursday. Friday. Let go of what you need to let go of, and bring with you what you want to bring into Shabbat. As we continue now with Lecha Dodi, page 20.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi
we ready to begin?
Wait, don't sit down.
Page 28, the Baruch Hu.
Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, 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 yai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai. Adonai Hamevorach, Baruch Adonai Hamevorach leolam vaed, Baruch Adonai Hamevorach leolam vaed.
You can be seated. Many of you know that the first prayer after the Baruch Hu in the evening is a prayer about the miraculous nature of creation. All of us who saw those images, light coming from years ago, this amazing universe in which we inhabit, that is the focus of the first prayer after the Baruch Hu. And then the second prayer on page 32 is a prayer about love, the love we experience in the gift of being part of this world. Page 32.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha avta, Amcha avta. Torah u'mitzvot, Hukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Alkeinu Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbeinu, uvkumeinu nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'mitzvotecha leolam vaed, ki hem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, uvachem nege yomam v'layla, nege yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatcha al tasir, mimenu leolamim, Baruch ata Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Adonai, a euphemism for a name we can't say out loud. Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey. If you imagine that word, that name of God, it is a name that is all sounds of breathing. And if you tried to put vowels to it, here's what it would sound like. Blessed are you who loves us, who connects us to each other. And that's what the Shema says. It says, Shema, listen, Israel. All of us are Israel. It's saying, listen, Lizzie. Listen, Laura. Listen. Pay attention. Is our God. That's all there is. Connection. The breath that I'm breathing out, Riddell is breathing in now. And someday, somebody in China will be breathing it in. The tree breathes out. I breathe in. We're all connected. That's what we say when we say the Shema. Page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Adonai Echad, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Before we said the Shema, we talked about love, being held in the love of being connected in the world. And then we sang the Shema, and now we talked about how we show our love by connecting with future generations and each other. And now we turn to Mi Chamocha on page 40, the song we sang when we made it safely through the sea, when we were brave enough to take that first step and risk change. Page 40.
You're going to repeat some stuff with Rabbi Geller, who's going to be brave enough to sing. So I'll point to you like that when we get to it.
Okay.
But here we go.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osefele.
So we're going to try that again, but the repeat part actually hasn't come. Let's try it.
Mi chamocha
Adonai, mi kamocha, nedar bakodesh. No ra tehilot, oh seifele. Here we go, you can look at the screens. And the river is wide.
And the river is wide.
And the river is deep.
And the river is deep.
And the river is standing between you and me.
And the
freedom. But we shall overcome one day. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar bakodesh. No ra tehilot, oh seifele. Repeat after me. And the river is fear.
And the river is fear.
And the river is hate.
And the river is hate.
Together. And the river is standing between us and the gates of freedom. But we shall overcome one day. One more mi chamocha. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar bakodesh. No ra tehilot, oh seifele.
Page 43. A lullaby.
We'll be on, I think, line 3 we'll start. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ushmor tzeiteinu uvoeinu lechaim ushalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha.
We rise now for the Amidah on page 46. In an envelope marked personal, God addressed me a letter. In an envelope marked personal, I have given my answer. The Amidah is the moment when you give your answer, your questions, where you get to pour out your own heart. So we continue individually with our own private Amidah. It continues through page 62. You can use the words of the prayer book or the words of your own heart. For some of us, the prayers that we offered relate to people that we care about who are ill. And so we offer a Misha Berach, page 253.
If you're online, please begin to write in the names of your loved ones. If you're here in person, we'll take your names in between the verses.
Cindy Mason.
These names that have been submitted to our community, from our community: Charles Ehrenberg, Donna Berg, Jean-Claude Bertet, Shalom Bertet, Shalom Bluestein, Bernard Birnbaum, Lester Boxer, Eitan Chaim, Woody Clark, Joseph Cohen, Patty Goodman, Andy Hale, Helene Hale, Lori Haynes, Jeremy Hutchings, Dora Kamara, Sis Klein, Russell Kunke, Ira Loffer, Sheila Merowitz, Daniel Papp, Rachel bat Chana V'chaim, Chaya Rachel bat Karmi Adina, Haraba Harona bat Svia Yosef, Warren Roston, Ruth Schwartz, Leonard Shapiro, Lindy Sobel, Paula Warner, Pessel bat Gitove Lechel, Sonia Ann Weggy, Yehudit bat Nechama V'Mordechai, Howard Zellico. From online, O. Berman, Chaya Sora bat Rachalea, Chana Leah bat Chaya Sora, Bill Young, Matisyahu ben Nelly, James Jenkins, Beth Rubin, Chaya Rivka bat Ruth, Mindel Ruchel bat Rachel, Catherine Russell, Barry and David Levy, Steve Bird, Barbara Rosenblatt, David Yaffe, Suzanne Rosen, Lois Lebman, Rita Newman, Audrey and Judith Bennis, Lupe Diaz, Hazel Sequenza, Melissa Klein and Harold Gerwider, Tali, God, Raphael, Anna, Carolina, Lillian, Hannah, and Marilyn, Rachel Bailey, and Morris Baum.
I wish that I had kept a journal. As I look back over my life, it's getting harder to remember things I thought I would never forget. I don't really remember what it was like my first year in Jerusalem as a rabbinical student at the Hebrew Union College, or even really what it felt like when I came to USC to be the campus rabbi when I was 26 years old. It's even harder to remember experiences in high school or summer camp, though those too were pretty significant in shaping the person I've become. And then, to try to remember my children's growing up. Sometimes I can't even remember if an event happened with Joshua or happened with Ilana. It all gets rolled up together. And suddenly my children are all grown up. And they have children of their own. And I've been a rabbi for almost 46 years. But one thing I know for sure, it has been a journey. Even though I don't recall all the stops along the way. The second Torah portion this week, this is one of the weeks of the year when we read two Torah portions together. We're at the end of the book of Numbers. This one is the final one in the book of Numbers, and it's called Masai, Journeys of. And here's how it starts. These are the journeys of the Israelites who started out from the land of Egypt. Moses recorded the starting points of their various marches as directed by God. And then what follows in the Torah portion is a long list of the 42 stages in the Israelites wandering in the desert. So it's not exactly a journal. It's actually more like just an itinerary with occasional asides recalling some incidents that befell the Israelites along the way. So what are we to make of this list of place names that the Torah tells us Moses wrote down at God's command? It seems as though God wanted Moses to keep this journal, and that God wanted the next generation to read it. Why? As you can imagine, our commentaries ask the very same question. Why? The Be'er Yitzchak, who was a Jewish historian in the 19th century, viewed this as a journal that is meant to be read by successive generations, by succeeding generations. Here's what he says. This short listing of the stages of their wanderings was designed as reading material for them after they settled down in the homeland. Each stage that they noted in their reading would enable them to recall what had befallen them at that place. And they would accordingly take to heart the kindness shown to them by God and the sufferings that they endured for their disobedience, so that in the future they would act rightly and not sin. So he thought it was a journal for the next generation who settled in Canaan. Yeah, that makes sense. And also, it's a journal for us right now. Here's what the Baal Shem Tov, the founder of Hasidism, says. Again, starting with that opening verse. These are the journeys of the children of Israel. He says, whatever happened to the people as a whole will happen to each individual. All the 42 journeys of the children of Israel will occur to each individual between the time he is born and the time he dies. So, it's about us. A modern rabbi, Simon Jacobson, clarifies the Baal Shem Tov's insight by explaining each place name that we read in this list with reference to a particular stage in our lives, beginning with our birth, moving through the challenges we face early in life, our experiences of wanting power, of experiencing weakness, craving, rebelling, almost giving up, creating families, confronting failure, becoming wise, and finally, standing at the edge of our own promised land. So this journal, this itinerary, is not just about our ancestors, those ancient Israelites. It's not just the story of our people. It's our story. In my case, it's about me. In your case, it's about each of you. And then the commentaries ask an obvious question. Why the plural word, journeys? These are the journeys of the Israelites who started out from the land of Egypt. But the truth is, only the first was the journey out of Egypt. Once they were out of Egypt, they weren't going out of Egypt anymore. They set out from Ramses in Egypt, the text says, and they encamped at a place called Sukkot. From Sukkot, a place, they headed toward the wilderness. So, why journeys out of Egypt? It was only one journey out of Egypt, and then other journeys to the promised land. Why journeys? The response is a spiritual one. We go out of Egypt, that narrow place. You know that the word for Egypt in Hebrew, Mitzrayim, comes from the word that means narrow. We go out of Egypt, that narrow place, more than once in our lives. Many times, actually. You all know that on Passover we say, in every generation it's incumbent upon us to look upon ourselves as though we really did come out of Egypt. Not just the Egypt of the biblical story, but the Egypts of our lives. the narrow places, the stuck places, the constricted places. We feel stuck. And then we move through the constriction to expansion, to possibility, to change. And then sometimes we find ourselves stuck again, different from before maybe, but still in a narrow place. And again, we move through that narrowness. We don't have to wait for Passover because we come out of Egypt often, maybe even every day. Was there an Egypt in your day today? We have many journeys going forward and sometimes going back. And so we are charged to remember the journeys, all of the journeys, and the stops along the way. So again, why is it important to remember? Perhaps it's as simple and profound as this. There is a value in paying attention to the journey of our lives, to all those steps, the triumphs and the failures, the miracles and the challenges. They are the stages on the way to our promised lands. And as each stage of the journey comes to an end, we pull up the stakes and we move on, beginning a new adventure. And paying attention helps us realize that we have changed along the way. Each stage has its new challenges, its new opportunities, and its new blessings. And each stopping point on the journey holds a blessing for us. So I conclude with a prayer for each of you. May this moment on your journey be a blessing. Amen. And for some of you, this is a moment of a birthday blessing. This is the month of July. Yes?
Still July.
Yes? So, and are we blessing July people?
Just July.
Just July. Anyone who has a birthday in July, if you'd like to come forward,
Were you July? Yeah.
come up.
Should do a poll and say, did you come just for your birthday blessing? Not just, but did it help you come? Did you get a letter about your birthday? Okay. Why don't you guys come close to the, come back here. What? This is
Everybody in July,
I
right.
mean, 4 people. That's
This
a
is
lot
good.
A lot of July people.
Happy birthday, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mishaberach Avotenu v'imotenu. May the ones who blessed our ancestors bless you, who have come here to celebrate your birthday. For this year, we wish for continued health. We wish for your safety and your comfort. May you continue to count the blessings of family, chosen family. And may you be renewed as you approach this next year of your life. May your body stay strong, your mind sharp, and your soul lifted by the presence of loved ones in your life. And may you continue to feel the deep personal relationships that you have with people whom you share your life's journey. May you pursue the passions that make your life unique and fulfilling. Each and every year of our lives is an opportunity to grow and to find fulfillment, no matter what the past year was like. May you find the space to breathe and to welcome the future with an open heart through all of your days. and all of your journeys. May you feel safe. May you feel loved. May you feel joy. And may you be a source of blessing to others.
Amen. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. We could have said Simon Tov, but there's a pretty, popular birthday melody. I believe we're going to continue with Aleinu on page 282. Please rise.
Where's the end?
This one. Here you go.
Elena means it's on us.
It's on us.
It's on us now, right? If we leave our hopes, our promises, our attention to our journeys folded up in our prayer book, we haven't done what this service is asking us to do. It is on us now, Aleinu, to create the world that we want to create. Page 282.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, lateikir laleotzer breshit, shehu noteh shamayim beyoser haaretz, umoshav yikaro bashamayim mima'al, ushchina tuzo begavhe meromim, hu Eloheinu einod, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, u'shemo, u'shemo echad.
You may be seated. As we prepare to say Kaddish, we ask those of you who are in the first week of mourning for someone you cared about to please rise and share that name with us. Anybody online?
Oh, they're still writing it. I'll read them. Betty Reiner and Larry Stemple.
People who are in the first month of mourning of someone they cared about. The family of Rhoda Sharp, a longtime member of our congregation. The mother of Roger Hyman, and a beloved member of this community. And George Zafin, the son of Kelly and Julian Zafin. If you're in the first year of mourning for someone you loved, please rise. Share with us the name, yes? My mother, Rosalie Geller. Anyone from?
Looks like that's it. also in this season say the names for Samuel Ehrenberg, Ada Singer Kahan, Gladys Friedman, Samuel Sine, Dr. Tevia Turcat, and Blanche Wecker.
So if this is the yahrzeit of someone that you care about, please rise. Please stay standing.
Say your name.
Anyone else?
And all of the names, as you can tell, that are on the screen.
And I'd like to read a poem before we say Kaddish.
You can follow the words on the screen.
And where's the end? Shall I cry out in anger, O God, because your gifts are mine but for a while? Should I forget the blessing of health the moment that there's pain? Shall I be ungrateful for the laughter, the seasons of joy, the days of gladness, when tears cloud my eyes and darken the world, and my heart is heavy within me? Shall I blot from my mind the love I have rejoiced in when fate leaves me bereft of shining presences that have lit my ways through the years of companionship and affection? Shall I, in days of adversity, fail to recall the hours of glory you once did grant me? Shall I, in turmoil of need and anxiety, cease blessing you for the peace of former days? Shall the time of darkness put out forever the glow of light in which once I walked? Give me the vision, O God, to see that embedded in each of your gifts is a core of eternity, undiminished and bright, an eternity that survives the dread hours of affliction. Those I have loved, though now beyond my view, have given form and quality to my being. They have led me into the wide universe I continue to inhabit, and their presence is more real to me than their absence. What you give to me, O God, you never really take away, and boundless granted once, and bounties granted once, shed their radiance evermore. We rise for Kaddish in support of the mourners among us and mourners all over the world, people who have died in the violence, in the illness, in the tragedy that exists in this world of ours. Page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, v'yalmad divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei dekol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam omei maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha brichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Damiran b'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav. Uyaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen. May God grant peace to all people who mourn, as together we say, amen.
Amen.
You may be seated.
You may be seated. A couple of announcements, if I can find. We're so happy that Rabbi Geller's with us, that she gets to join us tomorrow morning again, and with a special, well, it's always special when Rabbi Geller's here, but with a teaching by Rabbi Geller. So join us at 10 a.m. tomorrow in here or on Facebook or on YouTube. Look forward to seeing you. In 2 weeks, we are reflecting on our Israel trip with our Everybody is welcome, because we cannot wait to show you pictures and videos and tell you about our wonderful trip, and maybe encourage you to sign up for a trip next year, because we're hearing there's a lot of interest. So we will have a special festive Israel Oneg after the service. So please join us for that. Also, interestingly, on August 19th, we are not going to be holding services here at Temple Emanuel. We are going to be joining Temple Isaiah for a special Shabbat with kind of centered around the Beverly Hills Community Farm, which is a new-ish, I don't want to call it company, but company that is in urban farming. Thank you. I need Mimi to come up and do the announcements. Urban farming company. I think they're on Bedford, actually. You can walk right past it. So I'm really excited to learn more about the Beverly Hills Community Farm. It's also Jazz Shabbat at Temple Isaiah. So I'm excited to sing with everyone over there. And we are, this is very important. We want to do a blood drive here at Temple Emanuel. However, we can't do a blood drive unless, I'm going to be honest, we can commit to people coming to the blood drive. So we're simply asking right now for you to let us know if donating blood is something that you can and want to do. We don't have the date set yet because we want to see how much interest there is first. So tbh.org/donate. I wonder if that's correct. It might lead you to a donation for the temple page, but I don't know. And last but not least, our Shabbat gala with Elton John Shabbat, which, not Elton John, Billy Joel, we did that already. August 26th at the Beverly Hills Boat Court. Please, everybody, come talk to me about it. Everybody is welcome. This is our major fundraiser for the year is at the dinner, which is at 6 o'clock. But we want everybody to come, irregardless of what you can do. Come support the temple. Please come. Please, please, please come. Get your seats. The gala, this past year's gala honors the Factors and Stacy Kestner. And then you'll stay, and at 8 p.m. we will have our Billy Joel Shabbat, which is going to be a ton of fun. So I think that is it. I thank you, Elizabeth, for being here playing piano. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Kevin, for greeting. Thank you to everyone here for security. Yes. Yes. Do you know more about it? The service on August 19th is at Temple Isaiah. So actually, August 19th is at Temple Isaiah, and August 26th is in the Beverly Hills City Hall outside area. Both of those weeks are not here. Do you know anything more about the Chai Village?
The Chai Village, the exciting thing about this Beverly Hills urban farm is that it's going to be multi-generational. There's lots of ways where generations can work together around issues of food sustainability, feeding hungry people, learning about farming, working with kids. It's going to be a wonderful opportunity, and it's sponsored by the two temples and Chai Village.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Let's close with Olam Chesed Yibaneh. The words are only on the screen, but they're very simple. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Yadai, Yadadai, Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Yadai, Yadadai, Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Yadai, Yadadai, Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yalalai, Yalalai, Yalalai. I will build this world from love.
Shabbat Shalom and
Shabbat
Chodesh
Shalom.
Tov.
Chodesh Tov.